All right, so I've got all of my makeup laid out. I'm excited for today's look. Don't look too closely at the hair. It is washed, it is clean. It's just very unstyled because I'm just sitting at home. I don't have any specific plans, but let's get into this. Get ready with me. The first thing I wanted to tell you about was, of course, I always start my makeup off with a clean face with my serums and my daily moisturizer, but I wanted to introduce you to this little beauty. This was recommended from a friend at work. It is isntree.com. It is a hyaluronic watery sun gel with SPF 50 with 8 types of hyaluronic acid. That's right, I said 8 types. And it doesn't give any white cast. There's no fragrance to it. It plays nicely with makeup. It's absolutely beautiful. And because we're getting into spring and summer, I have slathered it all over my face, girls. So I just wanted to let you know of that. And then underneath my very creepy, wrinkly, tired, aging eyes, I have the First Aid Beauty Hydrating Eye Cream. And that also is packed with hyaluronic acid. See that there's a theme going here. Hyaluronic acid, throw it on my face because it is moisturizing before we start slapping on the makeup. And this is, of course, the Benefit, the POREfessional, just the regular OG original one that I absolutely love. It's like a silicone-based primer. I have like spackle, just sort of, you know, it just kind of like smooths everything. So I usually just put it around my nose, at the base of my nose, you know, the usual places. But anyways, yeah. So I hope you guys have been keeping well over the last 2 weeks. Doesn't it just seem like there's been like a whole lot going on in sort of the YouTube and, I don't know, media world, which was one of the things, of course, that I wanted to chit-chat about in my Get Ready With Me, because, of course, the latest and greatest, and I suppose most shocking news, maybe to some and not to others, would be that Princess Kate came out to actually divulge that she indeed has cancer. And I don't want to get into the emotional aspect of that, but I think we can all say, if you're watching this video and you haven't been touched personally by cancer by yourself or somebody you know, cancer affects us all in some way or another. It certainly has affected me and my life, of course, because, you know, the most recent and most tragic loss for me was my mother, who passed away from an incurable cancer that she was diagnosed in 2018 and passed in 2020. So it was a huge loss. It will always be a loss. It's a loss for any of us that lose family or friends or close family members to cancer. And anyways, I just send all of my prayers and blessings and wishes upon her family. Yeah, it's really pretty tragic. So that's what we're sort of going to talk about as I just let that sort of POREfessional just kind of set up. Actually, I just forgot. Sometimes I like to put it just here at the top of my, you know, very nice 11s there. So today, just because it is a spring-alike look, I thought once we had applied the spackle, then I would slap on my face the e.l.f. Halo Glow, because it just gives you that just beautiful glow underneath your skin. And I went to my Shoppers Drug Mart, if you're Canadian, and I'm not going to tell you where it is because then we'll buy it all, because the e.l.f. products were not rifled through this time. So it was kind of nice. I don't know if I got them on a restock or not, but anyways, so I'm just going to put that all over this. So anyways, I just thought that I would share that with you because I was delighted when I went in there the last time that I went in to get the e.l.f. Halo Glow. Of course, it was like viral at the time, and then there was only one color, which was a little bit darker than I would get, but this time I got the fair because all the shades were actually in stock. So you can imagine my delight. All right, when that is all slapped on and looking snatched, if you feel that I'm kind of a little quirky today, it's just because I feel like I'm just full of blarney. So for my foundation today, I'm going to go with my tried and true. It is my Makeup Forever HD. Again, if you miss anything and you're the same coloration, I will link everything down below. I just absolutely love it. It is so skin-like. It is so like the chef's kiss. And for that spring-like look, I'm also infusing a little of the ROSI Oblos drops from A Drunk Elephant that I just love. So I am putting that on my hand, and then I am doing one little drop. I feel like I'm a chemist. And then I am just going to mix that all together with my fingers. Yeah, like I said, like there's been so many things going on in the last few weeks all over the internet. But like I said, the main one was that. Give you a little background information. Both my parents are born and raised in Dublin, Ireland, but I actually do have blood, and myself, I was born in England. So I started off my life as a royal subject. I was actually, I actually had my British passport. And of course, yes, later when I was just a young little thing, and of course I lost all of my wonderful accents, which I'm kind of sad about that because, you know, I think now when I'm older, I think like accents are such a cool thing. But you know, I have great love for both Ireland and England. And anyways, when this whole surgery thing went down with Princess Catherine, I just kind of thought, wow, you know, I am a healthcare professional. So when they said it was, you know, it was abdominal surgery and she was going to be in hospital for 2 weeks, I was thinking to myself, this doesn't just sound like just, you know, like she had a polyp in her bowel or her colon. It sounded pretty serious. So major abdominal surgery where you have to recover for 2 weeks. And yes, maybe not everybody would have been in the hospital recovering for 2 weeks with a, you know, a team of doctors, but also not everybody is the princess or a princess in England. But it did lead me to believe that this was a rather serious situation. And given her age, I believe Princess Catherine is 42 this year. You know, it just made me a little concerned. I was thinking, like, is it some type of colon issue where she had to have a resection of her colon removed? Is this an issue in the pelvic region? Like, did she have to have a hysterectomy? That's definitely what I was leaning to. And because she was, you know, going to be off for a little while to recuperate, you know, these are fairly major surgeries, whether you have a hysterectomy. So whether it was that or something to do with the colon, you know, I knew it wasn't something as easy as just having her gallbladder removed or her appendix removed. So either way, whatever it was, I figured it was something pretty significant. So I'm going to use this, which is the CIATE of London, and it is the Under Eye Extraordinary Eye Brightening Color Corrector in the color light. I don't know, light, peachy pink. It's all good. It's sticky, it's very goopy, but applied strategically in the areas that you want, it really does just kind of help to brighten up. So that's what we're doing. We're taking that Eye Brightener Perfector in the color light, and we are just applying it just to give ourselves just that little hint of brightness. All right, so back to the Princess Kate thing. So yeah, and of course you must know the internet was just rife, and YouTube videos and podcasts were just rife with every kind of imaginable conspiracy there was. Like, I saw literally podcasts where people were saying, like, you know, that William had an affair and that Kate was like thinking of possibly leaving, and like she was nowhere to be found, and they were hiding her from the public, and what was other stuff, you know, that that she was actually dead, and, you know, the royal family was trying to hide that, and, you know, and then of course, just to add fuel to the fire, when she put out her Easter family picture where she actually doctored it herself. I mean, that was an unmitigated disaster, because right away, you know, people are looking for like edited pictures and filters, and called her out, led to all of the conspiracy theories. They were like, you know, like, because who knew who actually edited that picture? I mean, even the British press would have could have been, you know, pointing fingers at other parties within the firm, the royal family firm, as to who was kind of like editing those pictures, you know, in the hopes of manipulating the public. If anybody has a right, it is the royal, you know, it is the UK residents that have a right to kind of know. You know, the damage had been done, and it doesn't, again, lead to a very good situation when you have the internet and the World Wide Web just rife with all of these conspiracy theories. Because like I said, it just feeds into that whole, you know, that whole system. Now I'm going to go in with my beautiful Skin Radiant Concealer from Charlotte, and I'm just going to give a little actual concealer. And you know, we know as we age that less is more, my darlings. Less is more. Don't ask me why I'm talking like a crazy woman, but I just feel like it. So anyways, and of course on my side I have my wonderful Nikki LaRose and my BK Beauty brushes. So I am just going to be tapping away, tap, tap, tap. I just absolutely love this. It's the number 16, but I just love it. It's just like the perfect, just even because of the shape of it, it is like the perfect blending brush for me and my very, very like sunken in and like hooded eyes. I just think it is like the best little concealer brush. See how it's just tapping. It's like effortless. It's effortless. But anyways, so back to Princess Kate. So I think like they didn't really have much of a chance in kind of keeping the lid on the situation. I'm sure like that they wanted to keep it as private as possible. But when she came out, basically the reason for the delay, and anybody that is a parent would appreciate that she had to wait for her children to be on spring break, so that her and William, Prince William, could address the family together, so as not to scare her children. And I think that just shows just what an amazing mom that she is. And I think Princess Diana would be so incredibly proud of her and would be standing beside her in support, because, you know, I think of all of the things that you can or want to say, or the conspiracy theories out there about, you know, Princess Catherine versus Meghan. I think that the majority of us would say that in every picture there's echoes of the kind of mother that Princess Diana was. I also wanted to talk about the announcement, because you can read so much between the lines. And when she said that while her surgery was successful, you know, and she was healing, they did find cancer. So I think that's, and then they wanted the surgical team, the doctors got together and they said, you know, we want to put you on chemotherapy right away. It does make me a little bit nervous, because if there was precancerous cells there, say it was a hysterectomy, and I'm just going from experience working in a hospital. I worked at a cancer hospital at the beginning of my career for 3 years as well. And of course, in my job, I see a lot of people with cancer. I would say that if there was precancerous cells and it was a hysterectomy that she had, and they wanted to start chemotherapy right away, then it's an aggressive form of cancer. So I'm hoping it's not ovarian, but at least with precancerous cells and hitting it right away with chemotherapy, I think you stand the best chance of survival. So again, I don't want to go to those dark places. I don't want to think about what if. I hope that it's not ovarian cancer. I hope it's not cervical cancer. I hope they just saw a couple of select cells in the area, that there was no lymph node involvement, and that, you know, she's going to be thrown on chemotherapy and that she will be okay, that she'll, you know, that she'll weather the storm. So I'm hoping that. I am now just using my NYX, the old lift and snatch, because it's kind of crazy. They're like out of control. Oh, yes, I love when the hair gets in the way. Yeah. So I like to do that, get them kind of going in one direction, you know? And stories. So I was at work a few days ago, and then like I have 2 vehicles, and I wasn't in the SUV. I was riding my my car, so it's a little bit lower the roof. And I always wait, if I'm working in the morning, to put my mascara on just before I leave. So I went to put my mascara on, and anyways, I hit the roof of my car with my mascara wand like more than once, like about 3 times. So now I have a big black mascara smudge on the roof of my car. And while I was tempted to mitigate this big black smudgy disaster that I had created, I realized that just like if we're using it and we smudge it and we wreck our nice eyeshadow look, that I was to wait for it to dry and then I could flake it off. So I have, and so far it looks good. There's just a couple of more little spots that I have to get a soft spoolie in. Okay, so now I thought, just to kind of give some warmth to the face, you know, some sunshine. Don't you love how the grays are coming in? That's another thing I have to do, make an appointment with my hairdresser to get the roots done. I am now going to dip into this, which I am loving. It is the SAIE. It is the Sun Melt Bronzer in medium. Yes, I know I said medium. And are you ready for this? This is going to be like a OG YouTube throwback. I'm going to use that with my NARS KABUKI brush. Remember that from like 9 years ago, how the NARS KABUKI brush was all the rage? It's still a good brush to use for contouring. So that's what we're going to do today, but we're going to just kind of like blend it a little bit more. So I'm just going to do that, but it's just got like that perfect straight edge. And the handle is just so great because you can really just go further down the handle to make it like so soft. Anyways, I'm just going to slap it on first. I'm going to get the jaw. We must have a snatch jaw, mustn't we? Especially when you're 45 plus. And now I'm just going to do a little stamping on the nose because we have to just have that snatch nose look. And then I'm not going to blend it. I'm just going to leave it like that because I think that kind of like stripey look looks really cool. Okay, I was totally joking there. But anyways, I was waiting. I wanted to wait long enough and then you'd be like, what is going on? And I really like this because you can get kind of up here where, you know, it starts the nose contour. So loving that. Brush that I used years ago for my foundation, and now I'm just going to soften all those lines. So yeah, so I don't know if you were, you know, if you saw, you know, Princess Kate's announcement. I don't know if you saw it, but I mean, obviously by this point you're well aware of the situation. I'm sure you were well aware of the fact that there was so many conspiracy theories as well online. Yeah, I was just quite curious in the comments, and I know not everybody comments on my videos, but what was your take on that, if you saw it, and what you think about the whole situation. But anyway, so another little story in regards to the Princess Kate situation that I have to tell you. So there was this lady who happened to be a patient of mine. I was in the hospital. Anyways, this very cool lady, she's a little bit younger than me, and she was a patient, like I said, and we were just chit-chatting. I'd like to kind of talk about other things other than why the patient is actually there, because it's a nice distraction for them, because it can be a very stressful place. And she had the coolest pixie cut, like it was this asymmetric pixie cut. Anyway, she was just really cool. And so we got talking, and she says, well, you know, she has this cut because she's a hairdresser in my area, and anyways, has this Instagram account. So I was like, great. So I started following her. Well, just last week, of course, you know, like so many people, she put up this little Instagram video about you know, what was going on with Kate and where was Kate, and, you know, that Princess Kate should come out and, you know, they should make an announcement and they should tell people, because like obviously like Kate and William are, you know, probably separating because he's probably had multiple affairs on her, and, you know, everybody wanted to hear from Kate. And, you know, not every time do I respond, but I was like, I'm done with the kind of like just postulating of all of these ridiculous theories. Like, I get that Prince William, you know, is Diana's one of her two sons, and they were born into the world of the whole firm, the royal duties and the royal titles and all that comes with being a royal in the UK. But Kate Middleton is just an everyday person who fell in love with the prince in college, and the natural way. You know, she doesn't come from that circle. And yes, while she is the princess, and soon to be possibly the Queen of England with her husband, it, you know, she's still just a person, and she has every right, as does actually any of the royals, i.e. the King of England, King Charles, in keeping their health issues private to a point. You know, so yes, you say you have cancer, but like, you know, those are really private things, and I don't think that everybody needs to hear exactly what all the details are. I think that you have a right to your own privacy. So I had to say that, because I was like, I'm done with kind of this ridiculous kind of like, you know, feeding into all of these ridiculous theories. And, you know, pitching like Harry and Meghan against Catherine and William. Like, people, just let it die. Honestly, like, Harry did not want to have a royal function within that family. And he probably didn't want to do that for a long time, maybe since his mom passed away, since his mom died. And if that's the case, then you marry who you want, you move away from the country that you grew up in, start your life, and you have a wonderful life, and it be a private life. I don't know why, you know, they keep kind of like popping up in social media. That's my opinion. If you want a private life and you don't want to be a part of all of that, then don't be a part of all of that. But for the rest of the world, stop pitching brother against brother and sister-in-law against sister-in-law. Like, stop it. It's done. It's like, there are people that are really sick here, like Princess Catherine. And you know, she is trying to stay healthy and beat this cancer and be there for her 3 children who are still very young. And Prince William, who lost his grandmother, who he adored, his mother before that, and may lose his wife. I mean, I'm not saying he will, but he may. That's a tremendous amount of loss for anybody. So can we just kind of be kind and just like send love and prayers and hope, even if you don't care about the royals, that she's a mother and that she will get better and she'll be able to be around for her children? That would just make me so much happier, because I'm just sick of all the ridiculous conspiracy theories. I don't know. That's just me. Is it just me? Because that's how I feel. All right. So I did my base. I did the concealing and everything is down. And now I even kind of roughly did the brows. Now I want to use this. This is going to be my spring palette that I chose today, just because I really don't use it that much. And I was so excited when I got it at McGrath Labs, excuse me. It is the Divine Rose. And I just think the colors are exquisite. And I'm just going to use this old CoverGirl True Blend concealer. It's literally like, this is how much is coming out. So it's perfect for my eyes because it's basically dried up and finished. And I just want a little bit, just kind of tap it onto the eyes, just so that I have a nice base and the colors like really, really pop. But anyways, so yeah, so that's what I wanted to talk about today, because I was just like, I don't know. I just think because in my personal life, I am like so over like cancer. I just, really hate cancer. I mean, like, Obviously, nobody loves it, but I mean, I hate it. I just absolutely hate it in its indiscriminate way that it just kind of takes life away. And even if you survive it, you know, it just sucks so much of your soul out in order to fight it, which is a good fight, but I'm just saying it takes so much out. Yeah, I mean, I wish, you know, if we could abolish anything in the world, of course it would be hatred. But aside of that, if we could just abolish one disease, and I know that cancer is just the umbrella of the multiple diseases that cancer causes, because really it could be like any cell in your body. But could we just completely obliterate cancer as a whole? That would be nice. What are we going to do? We're going to go with this beautiful pink right here, and Nikki LaRose number 13. And I'm just going to go in and we're going to just lay down some of that pretty, pretty pink, because that is the kind of look that we're going for. So yeah, definitely chime in, leave your comments if you're my tried and true Radiating Beauty family, because we're always in tune, and really just kind of tell me how you feel about the whole situation. If you too were just like so tired, and in the strangest way, not that I'm happy she has cancer, but I'm glad that she was able to kind of step forward and then make this announcement, which was very brave of her. It was beautiful. I mean, she could have sat there with Prince William, but she did it on her own to address, you know, her concerns, and she did it so bravely and resolute and calm, without getting emotional. And I'm sure that all of this, I mean, she only had her surgery, what was it in February? I can't even remember. Anyways, this is all like very new to her. So all of this probably hasn't even completely just set in, just how shocking it is. I could just well imagine. I was there when my mother found out that her problem was this cancer, and you know, then when they went in to do the surgery on my mom, before any of us got there, any of the family members got there, before my father got there, I was the first there, and my mom was literally coming out of anesthesia, and they had already gone and told my mom that the surgery did not go well, and that it didn't look good, because when I walked in the room, she was literally sobbing. Lived through that, just the kind of shock when somebody tells you, like, first of all, that you have to have this surgery, and then all of a sudden, when they think it looks good, they're like, oh, by the way, you know, we found you had cancer. There was cancer there. Pretty shocking, you could well imagine. Okay, sorry. I don't know why today, all of a sudden, my hair is not only just fly away, it's staticky, which is most unusual. All right, so I lay down that beautiful, I don't know, divine rose, that's what I'm going to call it, I don't know, which is called Earthly Delight, and I'm going to use that to just kind of tap and define that pink color. You know, I love to define the eye, especially because I've got these, oh, lovely hooded eyes, you know, which so many of us actually have. So that just kind of helps to deepen the color. And I kind of tap it at about a 45-degree angle. Not that there's any strategy to that. And then I just kind of bring it across. And you'll always see that I drag the color up past my natural fold, because I do have hooded eyes. And if I don't do that, then you really wouldn't see any of the eyeshadow that I was putting on. So this Get Ready With Me was just, I'm kind of getting so sick. I don't know, is it an age thing? Is it just because I'm tired? But I am just like so incredibly sick of the kind of conspiracy theories that do float out there. And yeah, I know it kind of makes it fun for gossip channels, and it sells like, you know, the Daily Mail in the UK. Take this little smudger brush, because I love that Earthly Delight, and I'm going to go at the bottom part here and just kind of define that. I like that look as well, because it gives a big sort of finish to the eyes, as well as really opens up the eyes. And it's quite lovely, isn't it? It's quite lovely. Okay, Marcel Nude Liner, and I'm just going to line the bottom waterline just with this nude kohl liner here just to kind of give it a brightening effect as well. But I am very careful not to completely pull the skin down and also stab myself in the eye. Two beautiful shimmers in here. This pink Mystique. Let's just swatch that. Oh, that's the pink Mystique. Ooh, she's pretty. It's like a dual chrome. It's Forbidden Fruit. Ooh, that's really pretty. That's a little bit darker. So let's go with the, and I'm going to tap that on the mid portion of the lid just to give some depth, but we're also going to use this Pink Delight kind of in the inner corner. So yeah, anyways, oh, it's just such pretty like shadow one, that one right there, top, and then just kind of go in just to give it a little hit of something in the inner corner just to make that a little brighter. Pretty, very pretty. And I'm avoiding any kind of like upper waterline eyeliner today because it is spring season, and when the snow starts to melt and all of that snow mold comes out, if I start slapping on a lot near the inside of my eye, then I'm going to be paying for it later. So I am not going to do that. I'm going to avoid that altogether. And now I'm going to curl my lashes because we're almost done the look. So, and with my mascara lash effect in black, I just don't know if it gives you a false lash effect, but it certainly gives my lashes some length and some life. So I'm all okay with that. I was messing around with some old false eyelashes I had yesterday, so if they start clumping together, I did try to take as much of the lash glue off as possible. But so anyways, yeah, as soon as I bring this out, I just relive that moment where I basically painted my whole sort of roof with mascara in my car. That was hilarious. Anyways, I think this look is nicely coming together. Ah, yes. And my husband just came home for it's the afternoon now, and because I have today off work, and he was like, would you like an omelet? I'm like, oh, his omelets, I don't know what magic is in them, but he puts all kinds of things in there. What do we think? Is it coming together? It's Refi Lip Liner color Taupe, and I just love it. I love it. But I really like a soft pinky nude lip anyways, so this look lends well to that. The best about this Refi is this waterproof at the base, where you just dip this paddle in and then it keeps it from feathering, and it basically holds it in place. Now if you're going to be slopping down some, you know, big old juicy omelet for breakfast, maybe it's not going to hold in place entirely, but it will still look good. And I'm going to finish that lip look up with this Tarte Lip Plumper in the color Cherry Blossom, excuse me. So this just kind of adds just a light sort of pink, but a very juicy look. Plus, it is a lip plumper. Finish up the entire look, I'm going to go with my SAIE Beauty Liquid Blush in the color Chili. Again, it was in my February makeup favorites, and you know, it's a relatively new favorite for me, so I love that. And I'm just going to do a little dab. Yes, I do it right over the forehead, and then I just kind of tap it out, and I just love it. I just think it's so fresh, and as usual, a little goes a long way, so make sure that you tap it out. Carry it away there. All right, you can see how this kind of like spring look is just very, well, it's very rosy, isn't it? Thanks to the Divine Rose palette, but you know, I'm not angry about it. I like a rosy look. Quite done with the blush. Sorry, I'm just gonna blend that out. You have to, you know, blend really quickly. Not that the dry down is, but sometimes it kind of clumps. I find the applicator is the only flaw to that SAIE Beauty, because it's just this really big, and I've seen some people put it on the back of their hand, which is perfectly fine. We're not done. We've done the lips, we've done the eyes, but I'm going to just finish this off, and I love to finish it off with something that kind of elevates that dewy, fresh spring look, which is the Merit Highlighting Balm. This is in the color Cava, and you know, you just literally just swipe it on. You can see it just gives that perfect kind of brightness to the face, just like that. You can kind of really just smudge it with your fingers, and there you have it. And of course, to go along with my green sort of spring top, I'm going to add these fun little earrings, because you just want to finish off the look, make it something very pretty. I just think with some beachy waves and earrings and this makeup, I am good to go out. And I love it. I'm gonna just dust this whole look off with this new scent from Sol de Janeiro. It's the Chorizo number 68. So it has Brazilian jasmine. It has a pink dragon fruit and sheer vanilla. So it's a very spring and summer appropriate. It's a body mist. So I'm just gonna spray that on. It is a fruity floral. It is so fun. I love some of those scents that they've come out with. And then I'm going to finish it off with just a little setting spray. Dewy Set from ABH. And we are set for spring. That is it. I hope that you enjoyed this little chit chat and get ready with me. I'm so sorry that it has been 2 weeks since we last touched base. But like so many of you, life is just never slows down. It just keeps on going, and I find that the older I get, the faster time goes by. So this was just nice. This is always my happy place to just come and talk to you guys and to sit and chat, and I love the interaction. So please comment down below again if you've missed any of the products that I applied to my face today for this just very fresh and spring-like look. Then I will have them listed all down below with the links, and I do hope, you know, because more than ever do we ever need it, to go out there this week and just radiate a little inner beauty, like the name says, radiating beauty. All right, until next week, take care of yourselves, and see you all then.